Hello, it's Lolly, and I'm back, and this is, oh my goodness, I think this is Valentine Card number 6 in my series. And this is projects I'm working on for Aunty Vera Scrap and Craft. I'm one of her guest designers this month, and I just figure I have to do a shaker card. So I really like this 3x4 card that says, I choose you to be my Valentine. And so what I did was I cut out 2 pieces of the cardstock that I got in the kit. And these are an inch wider and taller than this. So if this is 3x4, then this is 4x5, right? And then what I did was I just drew some lines here, 1/2 inch in on each side to make this little grid. And the reason for that is to show me where to put my foam and also where to secure my tape. And also I'm going to cut out this one. So this is going to get glued right in the center here. And then I'm going to cut the inside of this out. That will be my frame to go on top. And I also have one of the little cut-aparts. It's actually the strip on the edge of the paper collection. It says, Hello, Sweetheart. And I'm going to elevate that off of there. And I'm making a double-decker shaker. So, again, I've never done this before, but I decided I tried something similar, and I didn't do it right. And I'm not sure I ever actually showed it on video. So I'm going to do it again now. And I think it'll work this time. So 2 pieces of acetate that also measure the same as this right here. And let's get started. So once you've drawn your grid in here to mark your area, that will help me to see also where to glue this. Even though it's here, it's going to help me. And I think what I'm going to do, okay, think. Yes, what I'm going to do is just lay this here, put my glue on this, and then lay this over, and hopefully that's going to center it for me. Wish me luck. Never opposed to trying new things on camera, right? I was just thinking, how am I going to make sure that I get that really centered? Of course, this requires me leaning over the paper project, and I might have to get my head in the way. Let's see if I can do this without doing that. Let's try. Okay. Just lay this down perfectly center if I can. That's pretty good, not perfect. And then, voila! Now it's pretty centered. I see I did twist it a little bit as I went down. Fortunately with this one, I could still spin it around. There we go. Pretty good. Okay, and then I want to take a craft blade, and cut out the center of that. Here's a thought I just had while I was cutting that out, was we could have left the top part in, just scored it, and then it could have been a shaker with a kind of a flip top drawer there. Okay. So, and then of course this could be used for some other card making. So what I want to do now is cut me some foam tape to go around that. And you see this is kind of wide, so I'm going to cut a strip and then cut off the excess, or I'm going to cut it down the center to make it a little more narrow. Okay, now this can be a little sticky on the inside. I'm going to put some of this in there. It'll de-stickify that, and it'll also help my sequins to flow really well. Let me look at some of the sequins I have here. And what colors are going to look really good with this. We put a few of these in there. Okay. Next up, I want to get some beads in there. Seed beads help the sequins to flow around in there so much more smoothly. And this is one I just never repackaged, so let's get some of these in here. Okay, now to get those tapes off and put the first layer of acetate down without thumping this and send it flying across the craft room. So that's the first layer. Now what I was thinking was about putting this in there, right there, with a tape runner. We never know how these things are going to work. This is our experiment today. And then building up another layer around that. Okay. Let me look and see what other images I have or other sequins. I think I want to do, I see you've got glare there. I want to do different sequins on the top layer, and I'm thinking that these would be really good. They're like little flowers shapes. And most of my sequins I got from Cartwrights.com. Okay, I have to put this back down, so I'm sorry for the glare. Now, I know this is going to be very hard for you to see, but I love this. I've got 2 layers of acetate in there with shaker elements in between each, and this Hello Sweetheart is lifted up off of the original image down there. It's really cute. Now, if you have, you know, kind of uneven edges here, you can take a razor and clean that up. We could also take a ribbon and go around the end there and kind of straighten that up a little bit, you know, so it wouldn't look as unfinished. See if I can just get a little bit of that off there. Okay, so that's what we have, but I'm thinking that I might not be done yet because I think I might want to put something in this frame area. I think I'm going to just go with a few little buttons right around the corner somewhere here. I want to see, most of these are going to be a little too large, I think. No, that's pretty good. I want to get a couple of those. Maybe a white or 2. I want them all to be different, so that's, I know that. These are little spice jars that I got at a garage sale. And let's look at a little, I've got a tiny little hearts. Let me just pour some out here. That way I can really see what I'm doing. Okay, I think for this I'm going to get the E6000. Now the last thing I'm going to do is put some little tiny pearl beads in there. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that, except I'm going to add a little bow right here. And let me get my ribbon out. Now my way of doing this is a little wasteful, and that's why I've never really shown it before, but I figured you asked, so I'll try to show it this time. Okay, so this is the, what, 1/8 inch narrow ribbon. It's black. I can't cut off just the exact amount I need because then I don't have room for my fingers to work. So what I'm doing, you can see how far out I'm going here. So I'm going to guess that this is about, let's see, let's measure actually. It's about 8 or 9 inches right here. But I'm leaving it attached so I don't waste too much. I'm going to make 2 loops, and then all I do is just cross the loops over and put one through the hole. That's all I do. Okay, I'm going to show you again. So I make 2 loops here, just like that, and just cross them over and wrap the one around and up through the hole. And so then I pull these tight and make the bow as small as I want it. And then I tighten that bow, and then I pull them again. And I just keep going until I get it as tiny as I want it. But see, the problem is, this is why it's wasteful, because I have to cut off this part right here. So unless you can find some use for that, it is a little wasteful. But by leaving it on the spool, I'm not cutting off two of the tails, just one of them. And then I like to grab the knot and kind of pull those down a little bit like that before gluing them on. Nice and tiny. And while these are still a little juicy, I'm going to kind of get DE6000 them. So that is the project right there. I'm not going to shake it around too much now because of the things that I just glued on there. But I just thought that was really fun. And I've been wanting to do a nice double-decker shaker for a while, and I just never got around to it. So now I did. I love it. Very cute. And I made sure that I put different sequins in the bottom layer than I did on top, but it's not really necessary. So this keeps some of the sequins up at the top. What I should have done too was my my static little brush. I should have spread that around the underside of this acetate before putting that on. I didn't think about it. That would have helped with the static that's going on right now. So thank you for watching, and I hope that gave you some ideas.